friends, my name is Hako and welcome into the channel. In this video I kind of want to put your minds at ease. So I've been seeing a little bit of like mixed emotions in the community regarding Miyabis W engine. A lot of people seem to be of the impression that like her engine is a must pull if you want to run Miyabi. And I've also seen some like mixed feelings about like the new disc set that's being added. I've seen some mixed emotions about like people having to farm a new set, and you know they're out of energy and they're gonna be like full up with farming all of the other stuff for the 1.4, leveling up Haramasa, etc. So I set out on a mission to like test these things out. One, do we need the new disc set for Miyabi? And then two, like how does her signature engine compare to any other option available to us? And follow along, I think you'll be happily surprised. All of these testings were done on the creator beta server, which is what you're seeing right now. So if anything changes before it goes live, you can be sure I'll tell you about it and, you know, adjust the content accordingly. So I hope I'm allowed to show this. I actually have no idea, but let's see. So here we are. Miyabis signature engine, the Hailstorm Shrine. Now this is absolutely gorgeous looking engine. I really like it. Might be the coolest one they've done. So what sets this apart from any other anomaly engine is that it has crit rate as an advanced stat. We don't get, like normally anomaly agents don't dabble with it, which is like why people are of the impression that this is a must pull for Miyabi. And it also increases crit damage by 50%, which is a lot. And then when using an EX special attack or when any member applies an attribute anomaly to an enemy, the equipper's ice damage increases by 20%, striking up to 2 times, lasting 15 seconds. So this one fully stacked also gives you a 40% increase to ice damage. So like now granted, this engine does a lot. It is a good engine. So when I set out to test this, I kind of, you know, thought I was gonna be, you know, proving the negative Nancy's a little bit right. I thought that this one was gonna be miles ahead in terms of performance compared to anything else available to us. So I've crunched some numbers and let me put my vision on for this. This is gonna be a crunchy one, peeps. So I've tried out all of these engines in the VR training hall and in 3 notorious hunts. I've done Pompeii, I've done the Butcher, and I've done, what's the name of the one? Not the twin marionettes, but like the corrupted machine, the one that we go after with Grace. Anyways, that one. All of these engines I've looked at, and I've primarily like looked at the clear times I can manage to get. So this took a long while. So her second best engine in the game is the Fusion Compiler. This is Grace's signature one, and it is a really good engine. It gives us pen ratio as an advanced stat, and as anybody that's a little bit into the combat of Zenless, pen ratio is very freaking valuable. This stacked on like a disc 5 that also has pen ratio, like together with Arena, for example. This one goes insane. And here's where I put your mind at ease. From my extensive testing of this, Fusion Compiler is about 85% as good as the signature one. So it is a drop-off of like 15% in performance in the clear times, which honestly I was surprised. I thought it was gonna be more. And this was tested with both of these S-rank engines at like 1 star. Because, you know, I don't think too many of us is gonna be 2-starring these ones. So yeah, a drop off is 15%, and yeah, I honestly think that is pretty good. So now let's talk about some A-rank engines. I've done some testing with the Flamemaker Shaker and with the Time Weaver and with the Sharpened Stinger, but there is so much of like these effects that gets completely lost on Miyabi. And if you pull for these engines, you obviously like have the character that these engines go with. Just let them stay with those characters. So when it comes to the A-rank engines, now let's do a little pop quiz. Out of Electrolypticos, Rainforest Gourmet, Weeping Gemini, and Roaring Ride, which one do you think is the best one? The one that is the best was not the one I had money on. I almost forgot to test it because like I kind of just disregarded it. The best A-rank engine in the game for Miyabi is Roaring Goddamn Ride. Piper's signature engine, and all of the A ranks one were tested at 5-star. So this one took me a little bit by surprise, because this traditionally, historically, has been, you know, very much just for Piper, because she's the one that can like make use of these buffs. When EX special attack hits an enemy, one of 3 possible effects is randomly triggered for 5 seconds. This effect can trigger once every 0.3 seconds. The same type of effect cannot stack. Repeated triggers reset the duration, allowing several effects to be active at once. So 1 increases the attack by almost 13%, 1 increases anomaly proficiency by 64, and 1 increases the equipper's anomaly build-up rate by 40. Now, this one is clocking in at 76% of like the efficiency of the signature one. So in terms of performance and clear time on my testing, there's a drop-off of 24%. And honestly, that is kind of what you'd expect. That is kind of the numbers we've been seeing with like other engines as well. So with the conclusion of that, I don't think that like Hailstorm is too strong, and like we don't need it. We don't need it. Roaring Ride is a very viable option if you do not have access to the Fusion compiler, which would be the slightly better option still. So we see a drop-off of 24% compared to the signature one. After that, we have the Electro Lip Gloss sitting at 74% of the efficiency of the signature one. So Electro is quite a good one, and it is kind of hailed as the best A-rank anomaly engine. But for Miyabis, Roaring Ride pulls ahead a little bit. So with Roaring Ride, drop-off of 24, with Electro Lip Gloss, drop-off of 26, according to my testing. After that, we have the Rainforest Gourmet, coming in at 70% of the efficiency of the signature one. So a drop-off of ish 30% in performance and clear time. And at the very last one, we had the Weeping Gemini. The Weeping Gemini clocks in at 65%. So a drop-off of 35% compared to the signature Hailstorm Shrine. And I actually did a little bit of a googling before like doing this test and putting this video together. A lot of sites puts the Rainforest Gourmet as her best A-rank engine. Obviously that's, I guess, favor crafting. Turns out it is Roaring Ride. And the reason why this is so good is that Miyabis has a very long EX special attack compared to most other agents, and she can like dual link it together. So like if you have enough energy, you can like do her EX twice and it becomes like 2 separate attacks. And this will trigger all of the buffs on the Roaring Ride. So this benefits Miyabis a lot. Alright, so yeah, chances are that you have a Roaring Ride, you know, just collecting dust. A lot of people probably retired their Piper when Jane Doe was released, if you pull for Jane Doe. So yeah, if you wanna prepare for Miyabis and you're not gonna be pulling for engine, Roaring Ride will do you fine. Now let's go on to the other subject at hand. Her disc sets. So I've seen some people being like, oh, I don't want to farm the new disc set. Well, have no fear, I did the same testing on this one. So I tried out Miyabis extensively with a 4-piece Polar Metal and with a 4-piece Branch of Blade Song. In the VR training hall, I did several runs to see how fast I could kill 3 Dullahands, and then I took it into 3 different Notorious Hunts, and I saw the clear time there as well. And good news if you don't want to be farming for another set, Polar Metal is just as good as Branch and Blade Song, with a slight favor for Polar Metal in my testing. A lot of these runs ended on the same goddamn second. I kid you not. So like it came down to like split second. So obviously then we're in the territory of like, okay, which one has the best substat, and that's gonna, you know, be dictating. And the reason why Polar Metal still like holds its own and slightly pulls ahead is that the 4-piece increases the basic attack and dash attack by 20%, increased by an additional 20% whenever freeze or shatter happens. Now, you may not know this yet, and I will cover it extensively in my Miyabis guide. You know, hit the subscribe button if you wanna see that once it's out. Most of Miyabis' damage comes from her basic attacks, or specifically her hold down the basic attack button and entering the Shimotsuki stance. This is an insanely hard-hitting attack, and Polar Metal increases this one by 40%. So Branch of Bladesong is tailor-made for Miyabi, and it is really good for her. But Polar Metal is just as good. And chances are that you've been farming this for Ellen or hell if I know, DPS Sokaku. So if you don't want to farm another set, Polar Metal will do you just fine. They are completely equal in terms of power level. So yeah. What I will say though is that pulling for Miyabis engine does give you some flexibility when it comes to like building out Miyabi. So Miyabis has a cap of... So Miyabi has a threshold of like 80 crit rate that we kind of want to reach up to. And that becomes, you know, quite easy with the Hailstorm, and it becomes slightly harder with another engine. Now, I don't have the best discs on Miyabi currently, but right now we're missing about 19. But with better substats, you can reach that without having that yet. But it is gonna require you to like run crit rate as a main stat on 4, for example. So pulling for her engine gives you like a little bit more flexibility when it comes to like what stats we are hunting for on the discs. But overall, the performance is, you know, not that far off. So yeah, I just wanted to put everybody's mind at ease. And like, do not worry, you don't need her engine to make her work at all. Or Cinemas for that matter, she's absolutely cracked as it is. And there are some very good free-to-play options available. But I've seen very few people mentioning the Roaring Ride before, so I kind of wanted to, you know, put everybody's mind at ease. Your little fox lady, you know, she is gonna do just fine even without her little ghost engine. Alright everybody, thanks so much for watching. I just wanted this to be a quick little video, kind of just clearing that up. And if you want to see more breakdowns and like more guides how to utilize Miyabi and make her an absolute monster, stay tuned to the channel for the Miyabi guide that I'm currently working on, and it's coming together very nicely. And I'm super excited to be able to bring it to all of you peeps. Alright, link in the description to the guide if it's already out. Everybody, have an amazing rest of your day, and thanks so much for watching. Until next time, Hako out.